What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion part 1. Now, I don't know if they're going to do a part 1, part 2, or they're going to do 3 parts. Please just let it keep it to 2, because it just ain't, when they do 3, they end up dragging it out. So, let them keep it to 2. But, neither here nor there. This is part 1, and I did take notes, because y'all be telling me I be messing up the names, but I think I got the names of this one right. I got these names. But the set was in this, they always try to do themes. So the theme was the French Quarter. So the set had like a French Quarter theme. And all the ladies had on some variation of white. Now y'all know I don't really get into the fashions that much because stuff I like, nobody else seems to like. And the stuff that other people like, no, I don't seem to like. So all I'm going to do is just go with who my favorite was. And my favorite from the pictures that I've seen, and I have not studied them, but the pictures that I've seen, I think Monique is my favorite because Monique had this white dress. You know, she had the girl sitting up, and she had a peekaboo of a little bit of like a gold. It's supposed to be like, I guess, like that look at your bra type look, but it really wasn't her bra. You could tell it wasn't really her bra, but it was like a little gold there. And I kind of liked Gizelle's look. I liked the slick back hair, sort of wet slick back thing, and she had a white jumpsuit with some lace and stuff like that. Those were my two favorites from what I could see. My least favorite, I think, was probably Ashley's. I think Ashley was probably my least favorite. But neither here nor there. Again, I ain't going down the couch. Now, we start off, y'all know how they go person by person. So we start off with Miss Gizelle and her therapy. And everybody agrees that she probably needs to do some more therapy. That the therapy probably is incomplete. But therapy is a process. Now, they asked the ladies, do you think the therapy worked? And everybody said for about 5 minutes. Gizelle is just a mean girl. She's a mean girl. And I think that because she did not have a storyline, whether it was producers or whether it was her, she decided she was just going to be the bone carrier and be messy. And I've told y'all this before. One of the things I hate with these shows is that people feel like because they're being honest that it's okay. Well, that's just who I am. I'm just honest. That's just who I am. But at the end of the day, it does not give you license to be a mean girl, and that's what Gizelle is. She's a mean girl. Gizelle, and let's be real, Gizelle's probably been a mean girl her whole life, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I don't know her, but just looking at her, she's probably been this way her whole life. That's just who she is. Does she probably have a good heart for the people she really cares about? Absolutely. That's why you see her and Robin are so tight, because her and Robin are genuinely friends. So, yeah, she has her moments with Robin, too, but not like everybody else. Anyway, they talked about the whole Sherman thing. Sherman didn't want to face Monique at the wedding. Monique was like, don't blame me. She was like, no, I'm not blaming you, but that's just a reality of what part of his issue was with going to the wedding. But yeah, at that point, it was a wrap. She said the last time she saw Sherman was at the gym, and they did not speak. So she did admit that her and Jamal Bryant are an item, that they are dating. So, but I think everybody kind of knew that by now. But okay. Now when they filmed this, everybody knew. I have one request. I feel like, and maybe y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like the Real Housewives of Potomac has the longest waiting period from filming to us seeing it. Maybe not the longest, but it just seems like it's so long. In the finale episode, we found out Ashley was pregnant. She done had the baby 5 weeks old. So we talking about 10 months ago. And I told y'all they're filming now for next season, which we know we're not going to see till the spring, summer. That's just a long waiting period for some of this information, but neither here nor there, child. Because she said her and Jamal Bryant been dating since last year, which is legit because they stopped filming in like last August. Anyway, that's just my request. Can we speed the timelines up a little bit, y'all? If y'all have to I feel like they film one season, then they stop. Then they film one season, then they stop. Can we overlap the seasons a little bit? Anyway, they talked about, okay, so that was pretty much Gizelle. Karen, they talked about her grief, her grieving process. And they brought up that damn her getting on Instagram Live in Louisiana again. Y'all, I don't get it. I don't understand what people don't understand about everybody has their own grieving process. Karen never said she didn't want to be with them. Karen said, I don't think I need to be at a bar tonight getting, having drinks in the French Quarter, doing all the things at the French Quarter. I feel like I would be a stick in the mud. So rather than go out with these ladies and not be in the mood and not be, partaking of the foolery that happens in the French Quarter, I'm just going to stay in my hotel room. She never said, I'm going to put my head under the covers in the dark and cry all night. She just said, I'm not ready for this. And when you are grieving, first of all, nobody should tell anybody else how to grieve. I love true detective shows. I love watching IDTV and all that. But one of my biggest pet peeves when I watch those shows is when they talk to the police, and the police are like, yeah, I thought she might have been guilty because she just didn't react to her husband dying or her uncle dying, whoever it was, the way I would have expected her to. And I always say to myself, well, damn, I hope don't nobody around me die, because I'll probably be a suspect, because I just don't react that way. Like, I don't fall out crying. That's not my makeup. And so it's the same thing with Karen. Like, Karen was saying, in my opinion, Karen was saying, she said this, I'm just not ready to go to the bar. So her getting on Instagram Live from her bedroom anyway, I bet you, I would be willing to bet, if Gizelle said, we're going to have a pajama party in my hotel room tonight, and ladies, everybody bring some snacks, and we're going to just sit down and have girl talk, I bet you Karen would have come. Anyway, I've talked on that enough. Y'all get what I'm saying. Then they brought up the LaDame thing. Let me just say this. Karen shitted on all y'all hoes. Y'all, when I say y'all, I'm not talking about everybody, but y'all clowned her, y'all questioned her, y'all came for her, you whispered about her, and not only does she have her perfume out, whether you like how it smells or not only does she have her perfume out, it is in Bloomingdale's. Last time I checked, every Hue Beauty is in Target. Now, I love me some Target, so that's not a hit on Target. All I'm saying is, y'all know what I know, that there's a difference between your beauty product being in Target and your beauty product being in Bloomingdale's. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, and Karen says she does own her company. She has a partner, but it is her company, her name. She's back in Potomac, leasing with the option to buy. She shitted on y'all hoes. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, honey. Shoot. And she made a couple of little, she threw a couple of jabs at Gizelle about, she said, I never said anything about Every Hue Beauty. And Gizelle was like, yes, you did. And I would have to roll back the tape. Now, I'm going to say this about Bravo. Y'all know this about Bravo. Y'all know how petty Andy is. If there was footage of Karen dogging out Every Hue Beauty, they would have spliced it in. Now, that's not to say that Karen never said anything about Every Hue Beauty, because I'm sure they all threw jabs one way or the other. But if there was some significant footage of Karen dogging out Gizelle's Every Hue Beauty, they would have spliced that in. Now, again, I would have to go back and look at the seasons and see if there was anything said. But y'all know like I know. And I know y'all don't like to hear about, well, some people don't like to hear about what's going to happen in the future. So close your ears for 2 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But their pictures have surfaced, and it looks like the original Miss Charisse is filming for next season. I'm not saying, I don't know if she's going to be a main character or just a friend of the show, but there is some footage where they're filming for next season, and Charisse is there. So, Charisse got on my nerves, but I grew to respect Charisse's process and her pain. When you really found out what was really going on with Charisse, I grew to respect her process. But I think she'll be a great added to the show, a great addition back to the show, I should say. So, That's pretty much what they said about Karen, and of course Karen and Gizelle, they sort of quipped at each other a little bit here and there. I think that I know Gizelle and Karen were friends before the show started, but I wonder how much of the shady existed and they just didn't know it existed because there wasn't nobody filming and showing it to them, versus how much of their friendship is suffering because people are playing for the camera. Y'all know what I'm saying? But anyway, I hope they can sort of work their way back to each other because I feel like they had a good foundation. I feel like it. All right, Candice. And let me say this about Candice. Candice is nasty. Candice is nasty. Candice is one of those hit below the belt, no cut cards. And throughout this episode, every time she said something, she was nasty, she was catty, she was disrespectful, she went below the belt. She said some things that were absolutely crass and unnecessary. And she does it on Twitter as well. If you follow her If you follow her Twitter, she says some very nasty things on Twitter. And Bravo Andy tried to bring it up about some of the things that she said and tried to get her to, I guess, apologize or acknowledge, and she just wouldn't. See, and again, we've talked about this before too. My thing is this: you can be in the moment and be pissed off or feel a certain way, but when you know better, you do better, and when you get more information, you can change your opinion. And I think people feel like changing their opinion is equal to saying like weakness or something, but it's not. It's not always backpedaling, pussy popping. If you get more information and you change your opinion based on more information, sorry y'all, I'm not feeling too well, based on more information, it's all good. So that's my 2 cents on that. I just didn't want to forget to say it. So Candice, they brought her mama on the show, honey, but I'm gonna say this: Dorothy admitted she liked the camera. Because she does. She plays for that camera. And she does like the camera. I don't know how much of Candice and her mom's situation is legit or how much of it is played up for the camera. But it certainly is interesting. They brought up the whole half-brother piece. And once again, I'm confused because I thought the half-brother I thought the half-brother was a result of infidelity prior to marriage. Like they were dating, but they weren't married. He had the outside child. She forgave him. They got married anyway. That's what I thought it was. I didn't know. But then the way the mom talks, the mom said that the infidelity happened during the marriage. I don't know. But neither here nor there. Candice told the story about how she found out. And y'all know she had to do the tissue cry. But she found out. She went in her father's room, which I thought was interesting because that tells me that maybe they weren't even living in the same house when they were living in the same room when they were living in the same house, but neither here nor there. She said she went to her father's room and she saw a poem on her father's dresser, and it was a poem, and it was signed by your son, such and such and such. So she said she called her mom, she was upset, and then, the situation blew up from there or what have you. That is definitely a effed up way to find out that your father has another child. Then they asked Dorothy, do you think that you still are dealing with the trauma? No, because I'm remarried. I have 2 other kids, and I've been remarried for 12 years. Again, still carrying trauma doesn't mean still carrying a torch. That's 2 different things. Carrying trauma and carrying a torch are not the same thing, but okay. Then they asked about this purse, honey. She bought the purse and she showed what she did to Bravo Andy. And she trying to say that Candice leaned into the purse and that Candice is just being dramatic. Candice said, no, you hit me. I had the whelp on my face. I believe she hit her with that damn purse. I do. I believe she hit her with that damn purse. No doubt in my mind that she hit her with that damn purse. Candice bought her deed, honey. Her name and her mama name is on the deed to the house. So she does own half the house. And she said that she helped put down the down payment. Now, when Bravo Andy asked her mom, is Candice paying half the mortgage? Her mother said, if she said so. Candice was like, for real? Like, for real? Now, either 2 things have gone down. Because when it comes to 2 of them, I don't care who. I don't know who lying. I don't care. But either 2 things that went down. Either her mama just being shady as hell because she doesn't want to admit that Candice has been able to carry the mortgage on that house by, her and Chris for the last What has been about a year now, right? For the last, because they started in January 1. It's almost January 1 again. So for almost a year, they've been paying that mortgage themselves. Or B, the mortgage is more than Candice thinks it is, and she paying what she think the full mortgage is. But I don't believe that. I believe Candice knows how much the damn mortgage is, and she's paying it. That I believe. So I said I didn't know who to believe, but I do believe. I believe Candice is paying that whole mortgage. Now, her mama, and come to find out, her mother said something about to Gizelle. She said something to the effect of she would help Candice buy that $2 million house. Now, Dorothy tried to deny that she said it, but Gizelle was like, no, that's not true. You said it. And Karen sort of even co-signed that it was said. Like, some other people were co-signing that conversation took place. And she said that, Gizelle said that she didn't even ask her mom. Her mom volunteered that information. And she said, why would I do that? I said I would help Candice buy a home that's more affordable. I'm not buying a $2 million home. So again, we're playing semantics. You had the conversation and you said it. Now, I still believe you said you would buy the $2 million house, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. And she felt the need to let us all know that Chris comes from money. Chris is not no bum. Chris is not no dude just like that. Chris, he just chooses not to publicize it or bring it up on the show. But Chris' family owns some big company, whatever. Robin talking about something, the furniture company, because Chris's last name is Bassett, like the furniture Bassett. And I was thinking, I didn't think about it on the front end, but after Robin said it, I was like, oh shit. But Candice said no, it's not that company. But neither here nor there. Now, I don't know why her mother felt the need to bring that up. Like, we needed to know that. If he chose not to bring it up on the show, there's a reason. He didn't need us to know. And we didn't really need to know. But neither here nor there. Then they bring up this whole situation with the butter knife. Candice, you changing the timeline. You pulled that butter knife on Ashley before she left your house and came back. Now, Ashley was wrong for continuing to come back after she was asked to leave. But the butter knife situation happened before she was asked to leave. So you playing games, you playing semantics. She tried to make it seem like she pulled the butter knife after Ashley kept coming back in the house, and that's not how that went down. Ashley and Candice, this was the beginning of the Ashley-Candice argument piece, because from here on to the end of this particular episode, Ashley and Candice were arguing. They were going back and forth, and like I said, Ashley, y'all know Ashley can throw some snips. I ain't saying Ashley was innocent, but the stuff that Candice was saying back to Ashley, and at one point she called her a dirty little hoe or something like that. I mean, she just nasty. Talked about the prenup, talked about she only had a baby for the money, talked about her laying on her back. I mean, just, oh my God, just nasty. Really, really nasty. And again, I ain't no big Ashley fan because Ashley can throw it, but Candice, and then when they tried to say, they bring up the quote, Candice said something the day that Ashley had the baby about her laying on her back, being a little roach on her back, squeezing out a baby. Like, it was really, really nasty. And Bravo Andy asked her, basically, I'm sure he was trying to get her to apologize, and she was like, no, I mean, I meant it. I said it. I meant what I said. Because, I mean, I didn't know that if she was really trying to have a baby when she said she was trying to have a baby. And Monique was like, but now. Like, now she had a baby, so we can question her alcohol intake or whatever, but at the end of the day, she had a baby, and the day she gave birth, you are still questioning her intentions. And I just feel like, why are you so fucking invested? Like, even if she had that baby to secure the bag, okay, how in any way, shape, or form does that affect you? Like, seriously, it does not. I don't understand why Candice is so vested in what Ashley is or is not doing and her motives for doing it. I don't know what that's about. And if they got into it and Ashley said you have done nothing, Candice gonna say, I've owned my company longer than everybody on this couch. And look, they were looking around at each other like, say what? Say who? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, ma'am. Say what? You ain't been. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Then she said, what else did she say? It was something else. I lost my train of thought when I got caught up on that last comment. The gold digging, having a baby. Damn it, I lost it. But anyway, neither here nor there. Candice is not trying to let it go. She's just standing in her nastiness. Because, again, that's just nasty. Just nasty. I've been feeling that for a while with her quotes, her Twitter comments. She just says some nasty stuff. And they asked her, Andy asked the mom about it, and the mom doesn't like it. And Ashley was like, yeah, she doesn't like it when I act like that. Okay, well, then stop fucking acting like that. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. So we talk a little bit. So let's get on Ashley. And this is where we left off. Because they left us with the whole climax that Michael's coming. I knew good and daggone well we weren't going to see Michael in this episode. But they showed him coming in, getting out the car, walking up the steps. You knew Michael wasn't. You knew they was going to hold us till next week on that one. But Ashley, so they talked a little about Ashley. Ashley says that as a place in her heart where she forgives her father and she holds out hope. She said her father has his own demons. Now, they said that there are pictures of her father floating around the internet. Y'all know how y'all internet snoops are. Somebody done went in, found his picture, and they said he looks like Michael. Now, I didn't see these pictures. I'm sure if I look hard enough, I can find them. I don't care enough. But Monique said he looked just like Michael. Now, Ashley said that she doesn't think he looks like Michael. She said, but I'd be a fool to sit here and pretend like I don't have daddy issues, So she acknowledges that she does have the daddy issues. She gave her mama that wig. And her mama wore the wig to the baby shower. Now, in hindsight, she says that wig was not her best look. I think we all agree. And I'm glad you agree. Moving on. They kind of left a lot. Of course, Ashley's upset with everybody because she done seen what everybody done said now about Michael. We're going to get more on the whole Michael Grabgate thing. Excuse me, y'all. More on the whole Michael Grabgate thing next week when they have Michael on the show. But Ashley said that she's dealing with a little bit of postpartum, which unfortunately a lot of women deal with. And I think the one thing that I think is great about more and more people talking about mental health is that we're talking about these types of things with mental health. And it's important to talk about it and important to acknowledge it. So she said she was dealing with some postpartum. But that, the baby's here. He's healthy. She's in love. Michael's a great dad. Everything's going well. They brought up her prenup a little bit, which I thought was a little crass. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for them to bring up her prenup, to discuss her prenup. So, they were basically trying to figure out, is she going to get more money for having a baby versus not having a baby? And child, anyway, if that's the case, all y'all having babies for prenups? Child. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it was, the first episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all next week for part 2, honey. We'll see what Michael talking about with Grabgate 2018.